Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.
What's up, All-Stars? Welcome back to another edition of Skip Town. We're so excited to have you here today. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be here. First of all, we're recording at the Kendall Hotel in Boerne, Texas. This is our fabulous room. We're in the St. John. It's a cottage, but it's like bigger than our first apartment. First of all, the bathroom.
It's a cathedral.
It is a cathedral.
Our room is a cathedral.
Yeah. The bathroom is bigger than our first apartment. This is bigger than our house that was in LA. This is enormous.
It's pretty big, yeah. And they have I don't know what they're called, the steeple church windows or what have you, with the points on top. You could see it. All kinds of Western decor in here. It does look like a little small town church from the 1800s.
Yeah, the outside and the inside. It is so beautiful, and we are so fortunate to be here in this particular room.
Yeah, for sure. So we would obviously like to thank Nicole at the Kendall Inn.
She's fabulous.
For hooking us up with this amazing room. We can't thank you enough for the hospitality you and your staff have shown us while we've been here. The courtyard is incredible. We haven't had the pleasure of going to Peggy's on the Green yet, but you know that Peggy's on the Green is run by a chef that actually has his own, he owns a restaurant in San Antonio. He named it after his mom. But if you go to the website, it's just the Kendall. It's actually on the National Registry of Historic Places.
Yeah, it is, because it's one of the oldest. One of the buildings on here is one of the oldest buildings in Boerne.
And for those of you who are going to visit Boerne, the Kendall Inn is actually right near the little town square, the park. There's a pavilion there where you can hear bands and all sorts of events. We'll get into one that we attended later. Everything is right here in the heart of Boerne, in the heart of Texas. You cannot get any more Texas than this city. Let's talk about this. All right, so pretty excited. Today we're meeting with Josh at Cibolo Creek Brewing Company. A little noisy out here, but anyway, you get the idea. We're going to do a beer flight with Josh at Cibolo Creek Brewing Company.
This house was built in 1911, I believe. So this area that we're kind of walking around, where you see all these tables, the interior dining room, this is the original structure. We just opened the space up to create a dining room. And back here, which we get into, this is an addition. So we poured a concrete slab, added all, this is all built later. We reused a lot of this beadboard from walls we tore down to repurpose it,
nice.
To give it that feel like it's been here for a long time. We do have live music, obviously. We have a little stage back here, so
cool.
You know, your Saturday, your Sundays, weeknights, there's always a band back here.
Right on.
So this is the brewery. We have a 7-barrel brew system.
Okay.
These are your fermenting tanks right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll brew the beer back over here. When that beer is done, it gets transferred into these fermenting tanks. Okay. And it'll sit in these, depending upon the style of beer, anywhere from a week to 2.5 to 3 weeks.
Okay, so each one is a different style of beer.
Correct, yeah, each one is a different style of beer. Yeah.
Okay.
And when the beer is done, we pump it through the ceiling in stainless tanks up to the stainless holding tanks up front.
Okay, got it. So I'm standing here with Josh, and he's doing the pours for the flights we're about to take. What are you cooking up for us here? What are the flavors?
So I got the Blonde, the Oktoberfest, and I'll have the Lost Mail Pale Ale, and then the Creekside IPA, and then a sour watermelon goza that we brew across the street as well.
Ooh, okay, so that's brewed across the street at Hamby's?
Yes, so we do a couple different things. We sometimes move some beers over here rather than keep them all over here. So we move some back and forth depending on if we can them or not, because we do start making our own cans now as well.
Nice.
A bunch of little fun can designs.
Yeah.
Lots of beer.
Lots of beer.
So we'll start with the Blonde. It's the #1 seller. We've been open 6 years. Every day it's the top seller. Blonde is good because if you're new to craft beer, it's an easy to drink beer. If you've been drinking craft beer forever and you're a connoisseur, you still like this beer, and you know it's got enough character to hold up, right? So it's a good gateway beer, but everybody respects it. So it's a good first time beer. Blonde.
Cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers. Salud.
This is just a good beer.
Oh. You hit me harshly.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Go ahead, let me see you.
Tastes like beer.
But that's why people like it, and it's just a good beer. what we thought our biggest sellers were going to be are not what they are, right? So it's not about what you want. It's, you know, consumer demand dictates, right? But we love blonde. So
What did you think the big seller was going to be?
I thought we were going to be really heavy on IPAs. Now we have coming up. We've got an IPA that's our number 2 seller. But at the time, I think we were both drinking a ton of West Coast IPAs. So we're just going to do tons of IPAs. Bernie's going to love it, you know. And then you realize reality is, you know, consumers have their opinions too, right? So I respect that.
Totally.
Right.
I remember, you know, going to like Bevmo or something, and like the entire rack on the back wall was just IPAs. And I've always been more of a lager guy. I did have my IPA phase. Lasted probably about 2 years, and then after that I was like, just give me a normal.
You know, I've been into lagers a lot lately.
Yeah.
The last 2 years I've been like really lager and pilsner heavy. We do a lot of those over there at Hamby's too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. Hey, you're smiling.
I'm
like,
laughing because the whole, you know, the whole IPA, the whole, what is
the
it?
craze.
Yeah, and the rumors that you get man boobs from IPAs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. Man boobs.
Yeah, so be
Are
it.
we going on number 2, or are we still sticking to 1?
Let's do number 2.
Okay.
So next up is our Oktoberfest. We call it Kendall County Oktoberfest. Everybody knows what an Oktoberfest is. I like Oktoberfest because it's good, clean fun. And if you ever told somebody, I had a few too many Oktoberfests last night, everybody's gonna be like, you're just fine.
Yeah.
It's good, clean fun.
It's a forgivable sin.
Yeah. So,
And then what makes this an IPA? Since Denise doesn't.
so this
know?
is not an IPA.
No.
Oktoberfest
this is not an IPA.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
Oktoberfest is essentially kind of a lager. This, I believe, this one he used an ale yeast, but it's very similar to a lager.
All right, cheers.
Cheers.
So this is going to have more of like a nutty, sweet flavor to it. Again, easy to drink. It's built to drink 10, not 1. It's German. So imagine that with some bratwurst,
That's nice.
sauerkraut.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I was expecting, I don't know. I know the looks can be deceiving with an Oktoberfest. I was expecting it to feel heavier than it is.
No,
It's
yeah,
pretty
these
good.
are, you know, the Germans want to drink a lot of beer, right?
It's good. I can taste the difference between this one and this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which one do you
Thank
like
you
better
so
far?
much. I actually like this one.
Do you?
This one tastes like beer, and this one
So
tastes
it's-
like beer, but with something
It's
else.
a little smoother.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
A little sweet, a little bready, just not overly flavorful in the sense that you can keep drinking them and you're not going to get sick of it, right? Because the Germans like to drink a lot of beer.
Yeah.
So do I, because I'm Czech. So
You're Czech? Oh my gosh, we did not realize when we first came through. So when we first came through Texas
West
last
Texas.
year,
Lots of checks.
yeah, lots of Czech. We went to Slovaceks. We went to what's it called up there? The Czech Fest or
Yeah,
whatever.
there was a Czech Fest up there. Yeah. There was like a Czech like food fest carnival
Where?
in West Texas.
So the Czechs, highest beer drinkers per capita in the world,
Is that right?
above Germany and Austria, and twice as much as the United States
I
almost.
would-
This is as of like 2019 or something.
Wow.
They really like your beer.
Yeah, they do. I think that's
did
what
not-
we're drinking.
I would think it was Germans. Okay, so do you do these flights often for people?
Oh, yeah.
Is this part of the menu, the flights?
Yeah.
Is it popular?
Yeah, people, I mean, if you're passing through Boerne,
They do a
you
flight.
usually get a flight. Yeah. All right, so the next one is our Lost Male Pale Ale. So it's a pale ale, so again, similar to an IPA, but a little bit lighter. This one is gonna have a lot of fruity notes to it. So you're gonna get, you tell me what you get. You might get like pear, you might get some grape, you might get apple, but
Oh.
it's gonna be fruitier, but it's also gonna be bitter because it's a pale ale.
Okay.
So given that you're kind of new to beer drinking, this is gonna be a shock to the system, so to speak.
Oh.
Well, you're getting there. We're leading up to the next shock to the system.
All right.
This one a little bit, somewhat smooth.
You can smell a fruit.
Yeah.
You can actually smell it.
Yeah, so you smell it? It smells real fruity.
Oh, I like this one.
Do
Actually,
you like that one?
It tastes dry. The
Yeah, it finishes
aftertaste,
kinda dry.
Yeah, the aftertaste
Yeah.
is a little dry, but you can smell the fruit and you can taste the fruit a tiny bit, like just
Yeah.
at the very beginning, just at the very beginning.
Absolutely. So, the next one is Creekside. This is our second most popular beer. This is a West Coast IPA. What that means is IPAs have, as with anything, things change and popularities and fads, this and that. And IPAs have gone on a totally different direction, but a West Coast IPA has a real piney, citrusy, strong flavor to it, right? And that's what I love, but it takes a while to grow into an appreciation for that oftentimes. So this is a strong beer. This is a 7.2%. Again, a lot of piney notes, a lot of citrusy notes, but it's a true West Coast beer lovers IPA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you grew up in California and you like IPAs, this is up your alley. You can smell it.
I did. I smell it. Ooh,
Real bitter.
that's strong.
Yeah, very strong.
Yeah, it doesn't
my
play.
God.
Oh wow, it's delicious though.
Holy cow, that's like hardcore.
Yeah, it is hardcore. You grow into a beer like that. So the next beer, this style of beer is called a Goza, and a Goza is a sour beer, slightly sour beer, and they always have like a hint of like a saltiness, a salinity to them. So oftentimes they're made into like a fruit beer, right? So this is going to be a watermelon Goza. You can get any fruit out there if you'll make it into a Goza. So they're great for the hot weather, for the high heat, humidity. They're just really refreshing. Again, partly because of saltiness, partly because they're kind of sour, and then the fruitiness to them. And they're very light, and they're usually very light in alcohol.
Are they really fermented with watermelon?
Yes, yeah, we use watermelon in this. Yeah.
So I've never heard of a Goza ever in my entire life. Is this just a Texas thing?
No. This is not a Texas thing. It's
There's no Gozas in LA.
Oh, I'm sure there's part of it.
Well, probably is now.
Yeah.
Is this new, like in the past 5 years?
No. Sour beers got popular. This is, 10 years ago they started gaining popularity. A little less than 10 years ago.
Okay.
And they've been around. This style's been around for a long time, but it's been popular for 6, 8, 9, 10 years.
Wow. Okay.
But it's just a great, refreshing beer. You do, usually have like one of these, but they're light in alcohol and is really enjoyable. So this is, again, it's a watermelon, salted watermelon.
It's like really easy to drink.
Yeah.
It is. To me, when you said sour, I was expecting, when you're a kid and you put your tongue on the 9-volt battery,
Yeah.
and it's like a shock to you at
Gets you
first.
back here,
But then you do it again,
Yeah.
because it's like when I had it before, but this is entirely different.
Yeah. There are sours that are built to just, almost make you cry. They're so sour.
Yeah.
And that's another variety of like sour beers, whereas Gozas are usually meant to be pretty easy to sip on.
So what's the hierarchy? Who runs things here?
Well, fortunately, we own the real estate for both businesses. My folks own both properties and invested in both businesses. My brother-in-law runs all the brewing operations for each business, and he's got his guys for each one to help him brew the beer, and so he can delegate all that. I run business operations for both of these, so my job is to nerd out in the office until I can't see anymore because my eyes are crossed, and then drink beer with people all day long, get to know everybody.
Drink beer all day long, spreadsheets all night.
Spreadsheets early in the morning, all night, and then drink beer all day long.
When mom and dad come in, is it like the boss walked in the door, or do they come in and just hang out and make you run around?
Does the air change?
Yeah, does the air
No,
change?
air does not change. When they come in, they just walk behind the bar, pour themselves a glass of wine and beer, and then go bust everybody's balls. But it's just a joke. They're easy. Everybody loves when they come in.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, life is good. I mean, so mom and dad will come in. They make themselves at home. They do whatever they want. Everybody loves them. It's just very relaxed. There's no fear of mom and dad walking in. And then my wife will come in with my daughter, Ty. My brother-in-law has my sister's his wife, and they've got 2 girls. I have a twin brother, and they have 2 kids. So our families are always around here, eating and drinking and hanging out. So I think everybody, again, around this area of Boerne knows all of our family pretty well at this point. So
There's always a cheer when your parents walk in, kind of thing. The locals are, hey!
Yeah, they call him El Jefe, my dad. So he walks
El
in like
Jefe, your dad's El Jefe. That's great.
That is great. What's the upside to owning a business like this? What's the downside?
Upside and downside? The downside is I don't think anybody, if you're not in it, then you would never have any idea how much work and time and how consuming a small business is.
This isn't small.
Yeah.
You can't, this you have
No,
a big
you're
energy.
above the limit. I think you're above the threshold.
Am I above
Of
the
small,
threshold?
yeah.
So-
At 65, you're 15 over, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot of time, I mean, I don't think most people understand that. So in a business like this, especially in the hospitality and restaurant industry, when you go home, in the back of your mind, you're just always hoping everything's going well, or maybe you get a bad review and you're just getting ready to put your daughter down, and it's like it kind of ruins your night. So that's the bad part. But the good part is you can still set those things aside when you get into your groove and years later, and figure out how to kind of just, I'm home now. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I know we've done a good job. We'll resolve this later if we need to. That said, the good side is, my wife and my daughter can sit here at the bar while I'm working, and I can sit here and drink a beer and eat lunch with them. And I don't know, life's good. You make your daughter a milkshake, or she goes in the kitchen and says hi to all the cooks, and everybody knows her, and she's giving high fives, and or she's handing out quarters to everybody to play video games across the street. She's 5 years old. She kind of rules the roost. So, and then again, mom and dad come in for beers. I don't know. It's like your living room, So that's pretty cool, and be able to share that with everybody is super cool. So that's the good.
Yeah.
That is. Our cheer to that.
Cheers to that. I gotta find one that's still. I have some left in.
You little.
I know. I've got a couple. I got a couple done already.
So Josh, tell everyone what your social media is so we can all follow you. Everyone can follow you.
Right, we have 2 social medias. This is Cibolo Creek Brewing Company, at Instagram or Facebook, Cibolo Creek Brewing, and then Hamby's Burning across the street. So Hamby's is our new venture. Smash Burgers, arcade games, milkshakes, life is simple, craft beer. Hamby's Burning, Instagram and Facebook.
Hit that follow button, and come on in for a beer flight. This is amazing.
I think I did a little better than you. So.
You did better than all of us. Look at.
I did all right.
You did all right too,
You did
Josh.
all right.
Yeah.
You did all
I'm
right.
professional though, so.
This was great.
This
Oh my
was
God.
great, Josh.
y'all
Thank
very
you
much.
so much.
Absolutely.
I could have hung out there all day.
Yeah,
God, he's cool.
it was nice. I know, it's awesome.
Oh my God, I absolutely love this shirt.
Anybody that would like to come out here in Polka, you're welcome to it. With a name like Nietenhoefer, you have to have cards.
Perfect.
Just
Perfect, thank you so much. Yep. So how long have you lived in Boerne?
moved here in 1975.
Wow.
And in 75, there was one cop and one red light.
You got a chair, you say?
I do.
Drag it up.
Well, what a great big old tough looking dog you
I
have.
know.
Hey, sweetie.
Watch it, she'll lick your nose to death.
Oh,
So good you can make it.
And now the Boerne Village Band would do another polka.
Tell us a little bit about, though, how you got into the Boerne Village Band. How did that come about?
I think 25 years ago. The band director at the time was Ken Herbst. He was our local veterinarian, and he is a descendant of the original band director way back 160 years ago.
Holy cow.
And there's about 5 generations, in which I have a list of. Anyway, Ken asked me to be the MC, which I had done around to different places before, for banquets and stuff. And I said, I don't know, The mayor called me, and he says, Ken, we really want you. Hey, when the mayor does it, you kind of, okay.
You can't fight City Hall. That's what
right.
they say, right?
Yeah, and he was great. Everybody loved him. And so that's how I got started. That's 25 years ago. Can you believe that? It's the oldest German band in the world outside of Germany.
And do they all have to be German?
No, not at all. Matter of fact, I'm one of the few that speak German.
I'm sorry, I don't know if I got an answer from you, though. So what makes this Boerne Village Band so popular in Boerne? What is it?
Well, for one thing, it's been around forever. And 163 years.
Yeah.
And it was popular way back in the old days. I wish I had some of the pictures of the old timers. I mean, the real old timers.
Right.
And back initially, it was all guys. And I don't know when the girls started playing in it also, but I don't know. It's just become very popular. We've had, like, on Independence Day, we'll have 700 people in this area right here.
Is that right?
Tonight we might have 150 maybe. Boerne has been a preferred destination for a lot of people for a lot of years, and as you can see why.
It sound right, boys.